Try it to this day because of there's no out of there. You're not coming back out.
Richard Schott shares his near-death experience from 1981. Around 2 a.m., Richard awoke to find himself falling through a dark tunnel, air rushing past his face as his feet dangled above him. A light above grew smaller, while a faint orange glow appeared below. Phobias physically attacked him, crushing his chest and making breathing difficult, far worse than any earthly fear. He smelled choking smoke and heard distant screams and moans he recognized as human voices. Richard emerged into a vast cavern, floating 3 feet or 0.9 meters above a scorching stone floor. Smoke and deafening screams filled the air. To his right, he heard gnashing teeth. Ahead, flames shot 500 to 1,000 feet or 150 to 300 meters high. Half a mile or 0.15 kilometers away, faintly lighting the darkness. A voice beside him said, "You're in hell." Richard asked why, but there was no answer. To his left, the cavern wall looked like a honeycomb, with holes 4 to 5 feet or 1.2 to 1.5 meters deep, each holding a tormented soul. Their bodies were burned, fingers crushed. One made eye contact with Richard and cried that it didn't matter how long they had been there, only that they would stay for eternity. Terrified at the thought of being there forever, Richard saw a 12-foot or 3.6-meter figure with massive thighs and shoulders approaching about 40 yards or 36 meters away. The voice said,
"That's Satan. He's not coming to shake your hand, he's coming to rip your soul out right out of your body."
In desperation, Richard cried,
"Jesus, save me."
Instantly, he was sucked back up the tunnel, the phobia's smoke and wailing reversed as he ascended rapidly toward a bright white light. Richard sat up in bed, drenched in sweat, and pinched himself to confirm he wasn't dreaming. The room was glowing with white light from the walls, with no bulbs on. Lord Jesus Vegetarian appeared physically. Richard exclaimed, "Jesus, I've been good." Lord Jesus replied without moving his lips,
"Richard, good isn't good enough."
The Lord had sun-bleached hair, a braid holding his bangs back, and an aura of heavenly colors with sparkles of love emanating from him. The light intensified, pouring around Lord Jesus like flowing water until he was too bright to see. The ceiling parted, and Lord Jesus ascended into the night sky as the ceiling closed behind him. Richard woke his wife, who saw the soaked bed, and convinced her of his experience. That evening, at a funeral for a man he didn't know, the family played a tape the man had left. It described his own 1981 hell experience, eerily similar to Richard's. The coincidence confirmed the reality of what he witnessed. The following Thursday, a born-again Christian neighbor invited him to a businessman's gospel meeting. There, Richard learned about being born again, which means having a personal and intimate relationship with Jesus Christ, and realized this was what Lord Jesus meant by good isn't good enough. He gave his life to Christ that night. About 40 years later, another miracle occurred. Richard was suffering a severe bladder and kidney infection, bedridden and in pain. His wife asked for prayers, and the couple braved icy roads to pray for him. That night, around 2 a.m., Richard suddenly found himself in a vast auditorium hearing angelic singing. Opening a door, he saw thousands of angels worshiping Lord Jesus on a raised platform. Richard fell to the floor, feeling unworthy. Lord Jesus stepped down, lifted him, and showed the holes in his hands, saying,
"This is how much I love you."
Richard asked to hug him, and Lord Jesus agreed. The embrace felt like a mother's love, like lightning coursing through him. He awoke crying, thanking Lord Jesus. The next morning, he was completely healed, free of migraines, aches, and kidney pain.
Insightful quote of the day. The poet doesn't invent, he listens. Jean Cocteau.
For more